Ivan Petrovich had been preparing for this moment for 3 weeks. He'd read How to Survive Meeting Your Daughter's Boyfriend online, rehearsed the phrase, "Well, hello there, young man," in front of the mirror with 7 different intonations, and compiled a list of forbidden topics: politics, religion, his collection of Soviet pins, and any talk about when grandchildren would appear. What he wasn't prepared for was the guy now standing in his apartment doorway holding an ironing board. Not just any ironing board, but some kind of spaceship-looking thing made of carbon fiber with titanium legs. In his other hand, the guy held an iron. He held it the way a soldier holds a rifle on parade. The guy's name was Dave. He was from Ohio. And he was smiling like he'd just won the world championship in synchronized sock ironing and discovered they were all different colors. Ivan glanced at the ironing board, then at the iron, then back at the board. Somewhere in the hallway, Larissa gasped softly and held her breath. Ivan realized this conversation was going to be, at the very least, smooth.
Well, hello there. So you're the one, huh? Well, come in since you're here. Just leave the board in the entryway. This isn't a playpen.
Ivan Petrovich. Hello. What an entryway you have. You can really see the homeowner's touch. Larissa said you laid the parquet flooring yourself. It's so smooth, impressive.
Would you believe it? Laid it with my bare hands, no iron. All right then, you put the board down, over there by the wall. Don't lean it against the radiator, it's cast iron. The paint will peel off.
Oh, don't worry. This board is afraid of nothing. It's been to Everest. Well, not the very summit, but base camp. Still 5,000 meters altitude, wind, cold, and it's good as new. Carbon fiber, Ivan Petrovich. Carbon fiber, light as a feather, strong as a tank. Want to hold it? Feel the texture.
No, I don't. It'll stand there. And what's that contraption?
Ah, this is Brunhilde.
Who?
Brunhilde. My battle companion. We've been together for 3 years. Cliffs, mountains, deserts. We've been through it all. She has a ceramic soul plate, an anti-scale system, and memory for 20 programs. But the main thing is she has a personality. She doesn't forgive mistakes. If you iron badly, she hisses, literally with steam.
Sounds just like my wife.
That's feedback. We respect each other. I respect her for her reliability. She respects me for my technique.
Larissa said you were an athlete. I thought maybe American football with those helmets, knee pads, or basketball. You guys like that over there. Even golf, boring as hell, but at least it's outdoors. But you, with an iron...
With an iron, Ivan Petrovich, but not just any iron, with a mission. I do extreme ironing. It's not just a sport, it's a philosophy. It's a challenge. It's the art of turning the mundane into the magnificent.
Extreme ironing. Are you pulling my leg?
Dead serious. We iron not at home, not in a boring kitchen, but where it's dangerous, where it's tough, where it takes your breath away. In the mountains, underwater, in the sky, on volcanoes. We prove that even a shirt can become a symbol of victory over fear, stereotypes, and social norms.
I should suggest it to my wife as a vacation idea. But wait, you're telling me you deliberately go somewhere dangerous just to iron?
Exactly like that. Take underwater ironing, for instance. You're in scuba gear at a depth of 20 meters, fish all around. Darkness cold. And you're ironing swim trunks with light, warm strokes of a solid steam-building iron. No one can see you. No one judges you. It's a metaphor. Self-transcendence.
Why would you need to do it underwater? So that wet, worn-out swim trunks don't seem weird to anyone.
Because you can. Because no one's done it before you. Because when you come ashore with perfectly ironed swim trunks that were ironed underwater, people look at you differently. They don't just see some guy in swim trunks, they see a hero.
That sounds undeniably heroic. And have you ever had any unexpected incidents during your feats?
There was one case, in 2021, diving in Lake Baikal. Ice, crystal clear water, beautiful. I started ironing, and Brunhilde snagged on the fabric. The synthetic couldn't handle it. The swim trunks split at the seam. I swam up in my birthday suit, covering myself with the ironing board. The locals still talk about it, but it toughened me up.
What an interesting way to toughen up, ironing his own swim trunks underwater until they rip. I've got a clear picture in my mind, the calm sea and the mast. Are you sure the iron snagged on the fabric?
Well, it's not just about Brunhilde. She's actually very gentle and tries not to snag on anything vital. It's also about synthetics. Anything artificial is evil, basically. Now only natural fabrics. Cotton, linen, wool, they forgive mistakes, and they hold steam better.
All right, let's say I believe you. And how do you iron in the mountains? It's cold up there. The iron would cool down.
Brilliant question, you think like an engineer. In the mountains, we use special gas burners. You heat the iron up, set up the board, tie yourself off with a safety rope, and iron. Wind, snow, thin air, and you're ironing. It's Zen, Ivan Petrovich, complete unity with nature.
And what if you lose your grip?
The safety rope holds well. If the rope doesn't hold, then farewell, Brunhilde. But I'm still alive. I had an incident in the Alps. Slipped, ended up hanging over an abyss. In one hand the iron, in the other, a half-ironed piece of clothing. And I'm hanging there on the rope, finishing the ironing. The judges were watching through binoculars and applauding.
Judges, they're there too, hanging nearby.
No, they're down below in the safe zone, watching through binoculars on monitors. They assess technique, difficulty, artistry, and the quality of the ironing, of course. Without quality, you've got no chance.
And how do they score? Out of 10?
Out of 2010 for technical difficulty, 10 for quality. Last year at the championships in Norway, I got 18.8. That's my personal record.
What did they deduct the point for?
For the crease in the trousers, said it wasn't sharp enough. And I tried, but in the wind you know it's hard. The fabric moves, the iron cools down, your hands freeze. Norwegians are like fish in water in those conditions. But for me, it's tough. I'm from Ohio after all. We don't have mountains.
Well, in warmer climates, creases probably come out sharper. So why go to Norway if crease sharpness matters?
Because it's a challenge. Because if not me, then who? I'm not just representing myself there. I represent the entire American school of extreme ironing. We're small, but we're proud. We have our own style, more aggressive, more forceful. Europeans iron smoothly, fluidly, like a stream, but we're like Niagara Falls, powerful, fast, with spray.
I can imagine.
Figuratively speaking, although at a competition in Italy I once overheated the iron and the water boiled so violently that steam sprayed even on a judge, but he apologized afterwards and gave me high marks for expression.
The judge apologized to you for you spraying him?
He understood it wasn't a defect, but an artistic statement. Expression, Ivan Petrovich, is everything in extreme ironing. The main thing isn't just to iron, but to do it beautifully, dramatically, with soul. To make the judge forget about the scores and just watch mouth open.
And are their mouths open often?
After my performances, always. Last year I ironed on the edge of an active volcano in Iceland. Lava flowing, unbearable heat, stench of sulfur, and I'm standing there in a thermal protective suit with I Love Reykjavik on it, ironing. It was so surreal, one judge actually cried, right into his binoculars.
Right into his binoculars, huh?
Later, he admitted they were the brightest, warmest tears of joy. I got 19 points, best result of my career.
And what about the volcano?
What about it? A volcano's a volcano. It fumed but didn't interfere. The main thing is to get away in time when the ash starts, otherwise you can never get it out of the fabric afterward.
Do you always wash things after a volcano?
No, of course not. Sometimes I keep them as souvenirs. I have a shirt I ironed on Mount Etna. It's hanging in a frame, under glass, like a work of art.
And what else do you have hanging at home?
I have a whole collection, a shirt from Everest, torn swim trunks from Baikal, trousers from the North Pole, socks from the Sahara. Every item is a story. I could talk for hours.
Don't. I'll take your word for it.
You know, Ivan Petrovich, what's the hardest thing in extreme ironing?
Probably avoiding blisters?
No. The hardest thing is choosing the right fabric. If you pick something too thin, it'll tear. If too thick, you can't iron it properly. And if it's synthetic, it'll melt, and you're left with a hole and a feeling of shame. Once at a competition in Scotland, I used polyester, thought it would be okay, but it started melting. Stuck to the iron, smoked up the place, the judges started coughing. I was disqualified and asked not to come back, but I returned a year later and proved I was worthy. With cotton.
I hope you managed to iron at least one kilt.
I arrived in a linen skirt and perfectly demonstrated all my extreme ironing abilities on top of the local mountain. The judges applauded Scots. They're stubborn, but fair.
And how many times have you done this?
I started at age 12, when my dad gave me my first iron. It was just a toy one and didn't produce steam, but that didn't hinder a boy's imagination. When I turned 18, I moved up to the first league, bought a real steam iron, and soon started ironing in truly life-threatening places. There was one time I was really on the edge, when I ironed on a bridge in Switzerland, bungee jumping with an iron. The piece of equipment being ironed was a shirt. I jumped, started ironing mid-flight, and the cord got tangled. I was hanging upside down. The shirt was flapping around. Brunhild slipped out of my hand and fell into the abyss. I screamed, not from fear, from despair. Brunhild, my Brunhild.
And did you find her?
Found her. 3 days later, a local shepherd brought her back. The iron landed in a haystack, didn't even get scratched. The shepherd wanted to keep it at first, but when he saw my eyes, he gave it back. I gave him a shirt as a gift, the very one I'd been ironing. He still wears it, says it's the happiest shirt of his life.
The shepherd wears the shirt you ironed. Probably doesn't wash it either for the memory.
Right.
We're friends now. I iron his wool. He gives me cheese.
Are you okay?
Why wouldn't I be? Wool is a natural material. It deserves respect, and Brunhilde handles it perfectly.
It'd be better if your Brunhilde hadn't been found in that haystack.
I don't even want to think about it, but I have a spare, Siegfried. But it's not the same. Siegfried, he's crude, clumsy. You can iron denim with him, army wool, but you wouldn't trust him with delicate fabric. But Brunhilde, she's like a woman, sensitive, capricious, but if you make friends, she'll move mountains.
Are you seriously comparing an iron to a woman?
To the best woman, Ivan Petrovich. One who will never betray you, never leave you for another, and will always warm you in a difficult moment.
Does Larissa know about this comparison?
Larissa is my biggest fan. She understands that Brunhilde is a part of me. They're even friends. Sometimes Larissa helps me clean the iron. They have their own secrets.
My daughter cleans your iron.
With love, she uses a special product I brought from Germany. After that, Brunhilde shines and purrs.
Purrs also.
Well, hums, but I can tell she's content.
What if you met a woman? You know, a normal one without an iron.
I did meet some. It didn't work out. They didn't understand the main thing. Extreme ironing isn't a hobby. It's a way of life. It's when you can't just iron, you need to climb to the roof of a skyscraper. When you see a beautiful mountain and you don't think I should climb that, but I should iron up there. It's a special worldview. Larissa understood that. She was the first one who said, Dave, I'm with you, even if I have to catch your board over an abyss.
She caught it?
3 times, once in the Himalayas. The board fell, she caught it. At an altitude of 4,000 meters. I watched and I knew. She's the one.
My daughter caught your ironing board in the Himalayas.
And didn't break it. Carbon fiber is strong, but if it falls on rocks, but she caught it, like a seasoned goalkeeper.
She played volleyball in school. Had a good serve.
There. That's where the talent comes from. I knew right away she had an athletic streak. Now we train together. She's my spotter. Without her, I'd have crashed about 5 times by now.
And you're ready to marry her, knowing she'll be catching your boards for the rest of her life.
Ivan Petrovich, I'm ready to marry her even if she stops catching. But she won't stop. She's part of the team. We're a family. Me, Larissa, and Brunhilde.
And what if I say no?
I'll respect your decision, but I'll still love your daughter, and I'll still iron somewhere in the Himalayas. alone.
All right, sit down. Tell me more about this. Siegfried, the crude one.
Oh, Siegfried is a legend. I've had him from the very beginning, even before Brunhilde. He was with me through my first steps in the sport. Falls, failures, funny mishaps, I remember. The first time I went ironing on the cliffs, tied the board off, turned Siegfried on, started, and he fell out of my hands. Straight into the abyss, I went after him, almost fell myself. But Siegfried got caught on a bush. I climbed down, got him. He was warm, like he was alive.
Who?
On a rhododendron, a mountain one. We warmed ourselves by the fire together afterwards.
You warmed yourself with an iron by a fire.
What else could I do? Night, cold, and he was wet. I was drying him. He was warming me. Mutual support.
I'll pour you another one.
Thanks, Ivan Petrovich. You're very hospitable.
I'm not hospitable. I'm in shock.
That's normal. All parents are in shock at first. When my mom found out I'd quit banking for extreme ironing, she didn't talk to me for 6 months. Now she irons on her balcony herself. Well, not extreme, but with a view of the park.
Your mom irons too, on the balcony?
She says fresh air helps creases hold longer. She's right. I always iron outdoors myself, if possible.
What if it rains?
Then in the rain. That's a separate discipline, rain ironing. Very difficult. Water gets on the fabric. The iron hisses, steam billows. You have to be quick before it gets soaked. Beautiful but dangerous. You can get electrocuted if the wiring isn't protected.
Have you been shocked?
Twice. Mildly, Siegfried almost broke then, but now I use protected extension cords and rubber boots.
That explains a few things. So even in rubber boots.
And a raincoat. It's the uniform. Every athlete has their own. I like yellow, for example. It's bright, visible from afar. The judges appreciate it.
I don't doubt it.
The visual component is important. You wouldn't iron against a waterfall backdrop in a gray robe, would you? That's boring, but in yellow, that's a statement. That's art.
And how often do you iron against a waterfall backdrop?
I go to Iceland every year. There are hundreds of waterfalls there. I've already done 20. Ironed at each one. I want to collect them all.
All the waterfalls?
No, all the sensations and the photos. I have an album, Waterfalls I Have Ironed At. Very popular among collectors.
You sell your ironing photos? And has anyone actually bought one?
Well, they don't buy them, but people look at them online. Thousands of people, they're interested, they write comments. Dave, you're crazy. Dave, how do you do it? Dave, where can I buy an iron like that? I answer everyone. It's a community.
A community of crazy ironists.
A community of free people. Ivan Petrovich. People who aren't afraid to be silly, who are ready to climb mountains, dive into oceans, hang over abysses just to iron. That's wonderful. That's pure madness in the best sense of the word.
You know, I thought you'd come and say you were a programmer, or a manager, or just someone normal. But you, an extreme ironist.
Extreme ironing athlete, Ivan Petrovich, with Brunhilde, and with a mission.
And what am I supposed to do with you?
Accept me. Like your daughter accepted me. Like my mom accepted me. Like the world accepts everything strange and unusual. And if you don't accept me, no big deal. I'll still iron. And love Larissa. You know Ivan Petrovich. My friends now call me Iron Man. Well, you get it. Iron, as in the metal, Iron Man. Funny, right?
Iron Man? Like in the movies?
Exactly like that. Except in the movies, he shoots rockets and I shoot steam. And my suit is simpler, but my friends like it. They even gave me a t-shirt with Iron Man on it and an iron instead of the arc reactor.
And you wear it?
Only during training for motivation.
Iron Man. With an iron.
What about it? Sounds proud. When I go out to competitions, the commentators sometimes say, "And here comes our Iron Man, Dave from Ohio." The crowd applauds once they even made a sign. Iron Man irons his way to victory.
Irons his way to victory.
Creative, right?
That's not the word.
The main thing is it's memorable. Now everyone knows me as Iron Man. Even Sven from Sweden, my main rival, calls me Iron Man. Well, he adds with the iron from Walmart. But that's just jealousy.
From Walmart?
Brunhilde is not from Walmart. She's from a specialty store in Munich. But Sven will take any chance to get a dig in.
All right, Iron Man. Fine, you can leave. But there are conditions.
Anything.
First, no ironing in my apartment. I have expensive parquet flooring and wallpaper.
We'll only iron outdoors, I promise.
Second, if you go to the Himalayas, get insurance, real insurance, and don't put Larissa in the path of your iron.
She's insured, and I am too, and Brunhilde separately. Did you know you can insure irons? Extreme ones, especially.
Your iron is insured?
For $1 million. If Brunhilde gets smashed, I get compensation, but better if she doesn't get smashed.
Third, teach me how to iron. Not extreme, just at home. My wife always complains that I crumple things.
Ivan Petrovich, with pleasure. Brunhilde will show you. She has excellent technique for beginners. She's kind if she feels respect.
I'm going to learn to iron with Brunhilde.
It's an honor for you and for her. I'll bring the spare iron, Siegfried. He's simpler, perfect for training.
Brunhilde won't be offended.
She'll understand. She's wise. Iron Man has to help others become heroes too.
All right, off you go. I'll sit with Brunhilde for a bit.
I'll be right back. Brunhilde, stay with Ivan Petrovich. Behave yourself.
Well, hello there, Brunhilde. So you're the one, huh? My daughter cleans you. You, don't hiss. I'm not ready for that kind of relationship yet. I always thought Iron Man was a movie. But here you are in the flesh. Except his is a reactor and yours is a ceramic sole plate. Not bad either. All right. I respect that. Just no steam. Deal?